All right, everybody, it is time. We are back. We are outside. If you're new to the channel, one of my favorite things to do during the outside time of year is show you how to practice, how to train, and how to actually shoot lower scores. So I like to go through that process with you. Last year we did our Chasing Scratch series. I'll link that down below if you want to check it out, where I was able to get it down to a 0.4, I believe is what I ended the year at. And my game was just kind of getting sloppy and hadn't been playing a lot and all that. And no matter who you are, what you do, if you don't play and practice, you're not going to shoot good scores. So wanted to show that process and go through it with you, show you that anybody can get better. And then this year, I'm going to try to play a little bit more competitively. So I want to talk a little bit more about that going forward. So we're going to be chasing some competitive golf rounds here. We're going to be going through the process of how I like to improve and see what we can do and see if we can get some better tournament scores when it really matters. All right, everybody. So again, I am Scott Hogan. Thank you, everybody. We are here at Stony Creek. So we're going to be going through how to get better for tournaments. And I think a lot of people say, well, isn't that just the same as, playing anything, in golf? Well, it's not. So, when we look at the PGA Tour, right? Let's just take that for example. I see a ton of people that'll say, hey, you could go be good enough on the PGA Tour because they'll play with their buddies and they shoot a certain score. The thing is, kind of the adage that we always have is, if you're playing with your buddies at home and you're playing, around courses and all that, and you're not shooting 62, 63 consistently, that PGA Tour, that's not even really a question. When you go to the mini tours in Arizona and Florida, the number of 59s and 60s and stuff like that are shot is outrageous. So competitive golf, and whenever you step up this level, it's the same for people that are trying to go from on the range to on the course. We have to do things that are going to make us better prepared to perform when there's a little bit of pressure. All right, so that's going to be our goal, and that is my goal for this year. I don't want to play good, when we're out here having fun, all that. That's nice, but I want to play good. I want to actually play some more competitions. That's a goal of mine within our PGA section. I want to just, hey, let's see if we can compete a little bit. Make, we do get a chance to make some money doing it, so let's see what we can do with that. But we're going to try that, and I know it's going to be a process. I've always played like one tournament a year, so this year I've committed to where I'm going to try to play 8 or 9. That's going to be a lot, give me more of a chance to try to master what I've got going on. And our first one actually comes up in just under a week here, so we're going to get it started, and we got to get practicing and get ready. All right, so as we get ready, this is day one. All right, day one, I haven't played golf in, let's see, almost 2 months. We're a little over a month and a half. Played in our trip in Alabama. And then again, if you're new to the channel, I have arthritis. So with all this cold weather and stuff, actually been having a lot of issues with that. And it's been a lot in my shoulders, which is actually new for me. So have actually been able to get help with that. And now actually feeling back up to it to where I feel like I could swing. I could really only swing a club maybe 20, 30%. So if you've been wondering why I haven't been doing shots or anything, or too many of them, it's because of that. It's been very difficult. But again, now we're getting back to it. So I kind of feel like, it should be like riding a bike in a sense, but I feel like it's going to just be a little bit of a process of getting back into things. So we're going to take it nice and slow, and I'm going to take you through my routine like I'm practicing and what I'm going to be doing. So the first thing today is going to be, the goal is, let's hit some shots. My goal is just get some fundamentals, and let's get hitting the ball nice and solid. I do have the Mevo Plus out. We can check some of that if I want, but you know what? I really just want to get a feel for the swing. I do have the multi-cams running as well, where I just want to kind of see the swing. I'm going to be doing some work with the Gravity Fit, and we'll go from there. But the first thing I'm going to do is, I always check my grip, and I've got this skills trainer that I use just to make sure. This thing is super handy and helpful. I'll link it down below if you want to see it. For some reason, they only make it in righty. I don't know why Skills does that, but there's lefty versions of this too, just on Amazon. So let's get to it. We got to start hitting some balls. Let's get warmed up. So no matter what, I'm always warming up with a 60-degree wedge. I do have the grip trainer on. And right now it's about just swinging a few. And again, I have a goal. I don't have a ton of goals right now. I'm not going to get too complicated yet with, you know, path space and all of that, because you got to be careful, because at the end of the day, it's just all about what you see. So I'm just going to hit a couple here to get warmed up. You know, just feel the contact. You know, again, for me, getting back into it, I just like to kind of land them. These are going about 50. We're into the wind. So, you know, I'll work on all that. And then once I do that, I combine the grip. I keep the grip trainer on for a little bit. I know people say, you know, hey Scott, don't you know your grip? Well, I mean, we saw #1 player in the world, you know, Scotty Scheffler there at the Masters. He warms up with the club. You know, I don't like the clubs as much because I like to feel my own club, but, you know, to each their own. Obviously it works for him. He's the #1 player in the world. So then I get the gravity fit on. So this one's huge for me, especially of late. You know, I've got to keep my body moving. And just make sure it's where I want it. You know, and feeling my posture, all that stuff. So I like to do, you know, a couple of warm-ups, even without it. So we'll just get moving here. So I just like to do these, get a few of those going, and then get the club in there. Again, getting a feel for the grip and how my body's gonna move. I like training aids that let me hit and get a feel for what I really need to be doing as we go. So I'm gonna hit a couple more wedges. And just, you know, those are going about 60, you know, get a feel. And again, I'm not really worried about that stuff right now. I just want to feel like when I'm starting off, any of the shots I hit today, I'm going to work on hitting some irons today, I think, and just want the ball to start. I want to feel like I hit it really good, and I want it to start somewhere kind of through the window is what we would say. So when I say through the window, I'm trying to get the ball to start and not have it go way off. Like when I look up, like, whoa, where's that going? And that's really it. You know, we got to keep it simple, stuff that we can do on the course. So there we go. All right, here we go, 7-iron. So I got the grip trainer on still feeling the motion with the gravity fit, getting my torso and everything, getting my posture still dialed in, and then hitting some shots. I'm trying to keep it, you know, as simple as we can, starting off. A little thin there, but it started out of my window, so I like that. You know, so again, for me, it's just about hitting some shots. For me, it's important to feel the shock of the club hitting the ball, especially with how cold it is today. We're only in like the 40s right now. But again, right through that window, which is what I like. And then I'll have to adjust for distances and stuff. You know, I can't do a whole lot about that right now. You know, I was doing the stack system for a while. Then when the shoulder thing happened, I couldn't do it. I will get back into it. But you know, it's not gonna be enough time in 6 days to make a change. So we're gonna have to just know what we have right now. So again, we can take care of the little things though, the grip. We can take care of some mechanic stuff, just some stuff I like to feel as we go. So that one was hit really good. Pulled it a touch, but I love the way I hit that. So we're gonna keep on going through, and we'll just keep on hitting some shots here. As we go. So again, I like that. That one looked a little better. All right, so now that I've hit a few, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to take off the grip trainer. So that's why I like this thing. It stays in my bag. It's around in my teaching bag as well, or you just throw it in your pocket. And so I'm gonna keep the gravity fit on, because that's gonna be the part I need to work on the most. But we're just gonna hit some shots now that I feel that grip, and I like what's happening with the ball flight. We're just gonna hit a few more, and then honestly, we're gonna call that a day as far as hitting shots. You know, I don't need to go crazy yet. I know I didn't hit a lot of other clubs, but you know, it's about building confidence right now. I will get more into some other clubs later, but today is just about getting back into it. Let's hit some shots, let's feel good. I think that's something that a lot of people underestimate, is the power of how positive you feel about your game. And so I want to feel like, hey, I'm hitting it, you know, especially when it's going really good. I can keep hitting a little bit, but I don't want to hit to a point where I lose focus and then things start going sideways and then I'm starting to get negative about my game. So you got to be very careful about that, because it's important to do repetitions, but it's also important to keep that mindset and your focus as you're going through as well. So we'll hit a few more just without the grip, because obviously we don't get to use that when we play. And let's see what we get. That one was real good. That's the ball. They're starting through the window, trying to start it right through. I mean, I'm kind of seeing it start right over this first red bucket to the 125, and then, you know, after that we can work on that. But right now I just want to feel like I hit a solid. So like that one was left of the window. That's the one I don't like. It was hit really well, but because I pulled it, it actually went farther, which isn't going to be a good thing in this situation. And I'm not aiming there, so. That was better. So I can already feel like my focus is dropping a little bit. You know, I'm getting a little too much into like autopilot mode. So I'm gonna hit two without the band, you know, and just, you know, I got the band still on, but I've got it off my hands. And we're gonna hit these two, just get a feel for it, and that'll be it. That felt good. And actually, I'm gonna call it on that one. That was perfect. I mean, I can't really do much better than that. And so again, I'm kind of losing it as far as focus. So it's time to stop and go work on another part of the game. If you want to hit more balls, come back later. You know, save some of your balls in the bucket, go chip, go putt, come back and hit more. But the moment you start losing that focus, it's over. You got to switch. All right. All right. So here we go. We're here. We're actually in my office here. One of the beautiful parts being a director of instruction, they give you an office. Can't tell you how huge that is in this golf instruction world. But the other thing is we're going to work a little bit on putting here. So I'm coming in here because I've got my perfect practice mat set up in here, you know, whenever I got downtime or whatever. And actually I prefer to work on putting in this scenario to start. A couple of reasons. One, I got a consistent surface, something again that's going to build me some confidence. Two, I've got a couple tools that I use. I've got my putting mirror. I always keep these around. So I've got actually a couple sets of these. I got a couple sets out in the shed. I've got some here in the office. I've got a start line gate from Short Game Games, and then I've got their path guides as well. So I will set these up. I'm gonna start it today with the mirror and just do that. because I don't have a ton of time before I've got to go out and teach. So we're going to get some good practice in on the mat right here, and we'll get it done, and then we'll be on our way. Okay, so let's get to it. So what am I really working on here? You know, I'm really just working on setup. Again, things that I can take to the course and think about, and what I want to think about. I don't want to be thinking about my stroke too much. I want to be thinking about stuff like, hey, just get set up nice, get an idea of how things are supposed to look, you know, as you're going through. You know, what's it look like from the hole, from the putter, you know, what's that kind of perception look like? Those are the things I'm thinking about. And then, you know, I just want to make some good feeling strokes and see the ball go in the hole a lot, to be honest with you. So that's what we're doing, and, you know, that's what we're going to keep doing. Okay, so yeah, it's just about getting a feel, you know, not too many drills. I've got my one drill I do with my right hand only, but just to feel a little bit. But from there, it's just hit a lot of putts and see a lot of putts go in from here. And then what I like on the mat is I can switch over to the smaller hole and you know, just refine it even a little bit more. That's a good idea here in practice, make it a little bit tougher, but we can do that a little bit later too. But you know, again, building confidence, that is our main goal right now. Just get confident with what we got going on.
All right, so the weather has been absolutely atrocious. It's been raining, you know, tornadoes, and it's been fairly cold, you know, so we haven't been able to hit as many balls or get out and practice and play on like the greens and stuff, but that's okay because we're going to get there and practice before we go. But one of the things we can do is get our plan together before we get out there for our round. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire up the old Google Earth. We're going to pull up the course. We'll get some strategy, and we're going to get some goals going as we go ahead and look to head out and get ready to play. I like to get my bag ready when I play golf, just in general. You know, if I'm gonna go play, I like to have it set up. I've got quarters, I've got all my clubs. I bring 6 golf balls for a round. If I need more, and then we'll do that. And then, you know, I brought my Gravity Fit. I got the aids I need. You know, I do use the Gravity Fit just to warm up, but then, you know, we go from there. So from there, we get the bag ready, we get ready to go, and you know, that way we just feel prepared as we are heading out to the tournament. That's basically the goal, is to feel prepared for what's going to go on, because we just want to make sure we're, you know, not rushing anything. You don't want anything throwing you off like that, like, oh, I need this, I need this. You're just trying to hop out there, get prepared, and play golf. So that's what we're going to do.
Creative format, because I don't think us versus them is as compelling as people want to be, because they've also been like 4 views. Coming to you soon on 4Play.
All right, so turn that radio off. So we're done with the first round of the year. That's my first round since playing in Alabama, and to be honest with you, first round, I haven't touched the club really much since because of some arthritis stuff, but I really feel like the first 6 holes were like I never played golf before. It was pretty terrible, a little disappointing, but the last 12 holes, I mean, I drove the ball great all day, and then I just couldn't hit like wedges, it's a little wet and cold out, and I just hit them all heavy, and so I had to work on that. But then towards the end, I started working and committing to what I was doing with the Gravity Fit, and really hit the ball a lot better. Now I don't know what I shot because that's not how the event works, but you have to set some goals. Like, hey, I just want to hit some solid shots, get a feel for how to do that again off grass, and then we'll keep going from there. So we'll have some stuff to work on as we're going forward. So our plan is some of those shorter irons, and we'll keep going from there.
That right is back.
Why is this ball spinning back so much?
PGA Tour shit that you do for the people for here at the Barstool Classic.
Which one's better?
Not bad. Long round, 5.5 hours because of it's blowing, I think, a good 30 miles an hour at least. I was going to check it, but improving. Feel like hit a lot of, my main goal from last week was just working on contact off the grass. Hit a lot of shots fat last week. This week, not so much. So that's a good thing, just constantly improving. Now it's going to be short game, had a couple of, I think 2 or 3 times, I think twice, where I had inside probably 40 yards, get up and down for birdie, and I walked off with bogey. So that's at least a shot and a half, if you ask me. So that's like 3 shots on the round. So had a couple of 3 putts. That wasn't out of the ordinary today. There was a couple of holes where, I had putts that you just had no choice but to just, you're going to hit it 15 feet by. Even if you hit the hole, like it would be moving so fast, it would hit the hole, hop out, and then continue rolling. So there was a couple of those, and you just got to deal with that. And and that's it. So it wasn't too bad. Really happy with how I struck it. My last full swing of the day, I hit, or my last 2, I guess, on this par 5. Straight into the wind, I hit it. Perfect drive fade right down the pipe, and then I hit a 3-wood from 230 straight into the wind, and that thing didn't move an inch right in the middle of the green, so I was super happy about that. But again, now we continue to know where we got to work. Short game, and that'll get us there, I think. So we'll keep doing it. All right, so the first little stretch here is done. Got the first 2 events cranked out now. Again, the goal is trying to improve, not only just playing better in normal rounds, but actually wanting to play better in tournaments, which is a whole nother level up. So hopefully this will show you how that kind of gets done if you're trying to get better at whatever level you're trying to step up to. So played 2 events. First one, as I mentioned before, not great as far as the start. Really struggled at the start. Like the first 6 holes were brutal. Just getting back on grass, stuff like that. Hit a lot of shots fat. It was very wet, but that still was just poor shots. But I did make an adjustment. It was nice to kind of feel the adjustment of what the Gravity Fit that I've been using. That's the best aid for me. It's fantastic, but you got to feel it in a tournament. Like it's like, all right, hey, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so I need to make some adjustments. And so that's what we did, and it actually worked out really, really well. So
with that said, we went to the second tournament. We actually went to a course I've never played before at Elgin Country Club. Actually played a lot better. I was a little surprised in my stats that it said my driving wasn't so good at that event. Although overall driving's been my best thing. I think a little bit of it was about 30-mile-an-hour winds at that second event. And so I hit the ball really solid, but there's a couple where, I just got riding the wind a little bit and it left me, where I had to punch out because there's a ton of trees on the course. So, I mean, it just doesn't feel like it was that bad, but it just, stat-wise, it was saying that. Now, short game is definitely where I need to be working, and even like approaches like the shorter range. Actually, the strongest part of my game is 200 to 250 right now. I actually, yesterday hit some very, very good shots. I hit some very good long irons, even though they were only like 190 yards, 185 yards. I mean, I was hitting 4 irons and stuff because they were really playing long. So, you can say whatever that is, but it was something that was good to see. So short game's definitely what I've got to work on. We're going to get working on that. I also putting, had a couple of 3 putts, again, partially because I was just in some really bad spots after short game, but, we'll work on that too. We got to work on that middle range. I'm actually short putting pretty good. It's that middle range that I've got to look at and see if we can improve a little bit. Make 1 or 2 once in a while, and then maybe even just just make sure we're not 3-putting, that's for sure. So that's going to be it, but not a bad round. In the second round, it was a 78. It was tied 26 out of 91. Beat some pretty good players, so it was playing tough, though, for them and for me, so I was very happy with that and feeling pretty good. We got another one coming up next week. We'll get after it. We'll be moving on.